welcome to Witches of the Moon, Season 3. I'm your Monday host, but today I'm doing my video on Tuesday. And I'm Amethyst Moon, and this week's topic we're covering the history of Yule and where it came from and a little bit behind it and some things that I do with my family around this time of year. So, a little bit about Yule and a little bit of information that I know about it. I took some notes, so if you see me look off to the side, it's because of the notes that I took. But whether you are, it doesn't really matter whether you're celebrating Yule or Hanukkah or Christmas. The celebrations are all a little different, but the meaning behind the celebration is all sort of the same. With that, it's a time for reflection and resolution and renewal for any type of religion that you practice. But it's also a time for gift giving and goodwill and kindness. And most important, though, it's also when a lot of people will do rituals to rebalance their dark and white, or it's a time for just to rebalance yourself and reground and get yourself back on track. There are many types of different traditions and symbols that you will see during this time of year, and some of them are like the candles and candy cane, and you see a little bit of like an advent calendar or an advent wreath, and within those there are different things that represent, not only through your faith but also through your family, because some families do certain things and some families don't. So within those traditions is what brings the family together and keeps the family close during this time of year, and that within those different traditions can bring unity to your family. One of the things that is really represented with this season, especially within within pagans, is the Yule log. And I excuse me, I rewrote this into my Book of Shadows out of another book that I had read a long time ago, and I think it was called Yule, and I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but I will leave it down in the description box. But I rewrote this out of that book, and I'm just going to read it to you now. It's the best representation that I can think of for the Yule log. But it says, "The log, a symbol of the Oak King, adorned with traditional evergreens, a representation of the Holly King, signifies the death of darkness and the warmth of the sun during the newly born solar year. According to tradition, the log should burn continuously for 12 days, and a bit of the wood should be saved to start the next year's fire. The first day of the Yule fire varies depending upon depending on your religious belief. Pagans usually light the Yule fire on the winter solstice, while Christians wait until Christmas Day." So that's the best. Whenever I think of Yule in this time of year, that's the first thing that pops in my head. Now, I don't have one. I don't actually have a fireplace here at where I live. But I don't do this, but that's the first thing that pops into my head when Yule is brought up and the subject of Yule is talked about, and that's the Yule log. So a couple of things that I like to do with my daughter this time of year, and I started this a couple of years ago, even when she was a little bit younger, but we make the salt dough ornaments, and I usually do one with her handprint, and I did one with her handprint this year, but I don't know if I'm going to do it next year. I haven't decided yet, but if I keep with the tradition, then yeah. But that's what her and I like to do around this time every year, is make little salt dough ornaments. And I actually have here in my book a recipe for the salt dough. Yeah, let me find that. So wouldn't you know it, I wasn't able to find my salt dough recipe, but I did come across another one that I have used in the past. They smell amazing because it includes applesauce and cinnamon. And this recipe calls for 1 3/4 cup of applesauce, and you want to get the fine applesauce, if that makes sense. You don't want to get the chunky stuff. You want to get the stuff that's a little bit more, thinner pieces. And then you'll want 1 cup of cinnamon, and then you can use any cookie cutter that you want to actually cut out the dough pieces if you want to, or in our case, I'll just pick up a ball, round it in my hands, pat it out, and then have her push her hand down into it. And then you can just take a pencil or a needle or something and poke a hole at the top of it before you bake it. And then, let's see, actually no, this one you don't bake. The salt dough one you bake. This one though you don't bake, you just to place it on wax paper and dry for a day or two, and then thread the ribbon through the hole that you make to onto the ornament, and then you can hang it on your tree when it dries all the way. So, and those smell amazing because of the apples and the cinnamon, and they just smell really good. Sorry, it's my baby. She's down here. Want to say hi? Come here. Want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. That was Luna. Okay, so yeah, that's about all I'm going to cover, I think, this time around. You're going to have more videos this week, so that's what I like to do for Yule, and this is my Yule tree behind me. Love my Yule tree. So, and when it comes to my daughter, I will probably keep we will celebrate Yule on the winter solstice on the 21st. Cat hair. And then, I'm still carrying on the tradition from my grandparents and, my mom and stuff for Christmas, so, she kind of has the best of both going on for right now. When she gets a little older, she can decide which one she wants to, So, yeah. I think that's it. Until next time, guys. Blessings.